you got it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Can you close it, please?
Yummy.
Can you close the other one, please?
Yeah. Yummy.
Oh, tummy. You closed it with your tummy? Oh, that's clever. This is so hard with one hand. Ah, shells. Saw that coming. Are you happy and excited?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, excited? This looks delicious, smells awful, and no part of me wants to eat breakfast right now. Oh, it's part of why we're getting our myelograms. Good morning. T-minus 3 hours, so I'm eating my last meal before I go in for my first of 2 CT myelograms. I have one this morning on my right side. I do another one tomorrow on my left side. And then tomorrow night I have a blood patch to patch. And then tomorrow night I have a blood patch to patch those 2 holes that they're making for my myelograms. Let me get my drip. Well, I woke up nice and symptomatic this morning, so I hope that means that I'm nice and leaky and will catch something on my myelogram. Because, guys, I made the mistake of looking up this test before I went in and looking up other people's experiences with this test before going in. And I have yet to find one that is even remotely neutral or positive. Everything is like, the second they started touching me, I was at least an 8 for the whole rest of the time. I was screaming in agony the whole time. I was crying, and they handled it so well. And then at the end of the scan, they got their pain medicine, and everything was fine. So I'm not really looking forward to that. Having trouble even like thinking about eating right now. But I'm excited about the answers that this might bring, and I'm excited to just get it over with. We just go. That sounds like a toot. Cheers, wish me luck. That's it. That's all I've got in me. I can't do it. Oh, you need help with your boots? Nice. Nice. Hold my hand. Oops, sorry. Can you help? Thank you, honey. Hooray. What happened? You tucked it in? Good job. You know, you're 1.5. You shouldn't know that many words yet. All right, how long till my doom? We're leaving in 20 minutes. My appointment is in 1 hour and 20 minutes, and then my procedure starts in 2 hours and 20 minutes. Let's sit down and have a chat. I'm having literally the worst time trying to find a place to put my phone where the background isn't just like junk, but also it's not dewy because everything is so wet this morning. I unfortunately lost my emotions of the moment in all of the shuffling to get over here, but basically I wanted to come out to talk to you guys because Usually the morning of a procedure, I am super stoic. I'm like, just really mellow, let's go. But the weirdest thing happened while I was eating breakfast. I was nauseous, as you saw. I got through like 3 drops of my eggs. Wow, the sun came out on my head. And that's really frustrating. I don't like that. I just throw up everything that I eat. But also, how exciting that I'm symptomatic for my myelogram, and I hope that means that we can be a little bit more hopeful for answers. I think that that's naive of me to think, but you know, you look for positive in anything when you're in this kind of a situation. I know it's silly. I have such a high propensity for crying. I literally just started crying right after breakfast because I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to go in for this myelogram. 10 years ago, I don't think there were myelograms, you know, like certainly not 20 years ago. If I had been here like 30 years ago, ain't no way we would have known I was even leaking. I mean, this is just crazy to live here, to live now, to have the opportunity to travel, to be able to get here by plane in like, you know, several hours, like just a several hour flight. It's incredible, the opportunity. And I'm sad that I have to be so like in pain for it and nervous, but it's hard to not keep thinking about the answers we might be getting today. In 3 hours, we might know exactly where my leak is. And yeah, in 2 hours, I might be wailing in agony, but in 3 hours, it might be done. And we might have our actual answer. And grateful. What's a word bigger, deeper, stronger than grateful? It's transcendent gratefulness this morning. I'm just so excited to go in. Oh, and my team, guys, I swear, they're the best. They're the best of the best. Nothing's gonna go wrong. Everything's gonna be fine. I can already feel it in my heart. I'm so thankful that it went well, guys. The victory is ours. Just such a great attitude to have going into this. I'm so glad I feel like this. I had to travel here without my husband. He's at home with baby A and Buddy, and I'm here with baby B. So I do wish he was here, but I'm really glad that I'm not nervous, because when I'm really nervous, all I want is my husband, but he's not here. I thought that it was gonna be a really hard morning without him. I thought I was gonna be kind of like panicked and anxious, or that at least last night I would have been panicked and anxious, but I'm ready. I'm just so freaking ready, and I wish I could have eaten, but okay, let's get our myelogram. Guys, my myelogram on my right side is done. I don't know what I want to say. So, Dad, I'm just going to start explaining to you about my ice pack. I'm going to explain how the procedure went later when I feel better. But right now, I feel like I'm really coming down from the adrenaline rush of knowing that this was coming for like a month. I'm like half talking to the camera and half talking to my dad recording. That's what's going on.
The cameraman.
The myelogram was like, I was expecting it to be ultra painful, like the worst painful ever, and it was at points, but I was expecting it to be more lasting pain throughout the whole thing. But I feel like the anticipation of it was anticipation. I don't even know how to compare it, it's just so different. One thing that's weird though is they had me kinked. They tilted me and they had me kinked so my head was up, so the dye didn't come in my head while I was in the scanner. They kept all the dye in my back. It was burning. It was like the post-blood patch burn where it's on your whole spine and it radiates down your arms and legs. On the blood patch, it was from my rib cage down because they had done blood filling all of that. But on this one, since I was laying on my right side and the dye is heavy, it was only coating the right side of my spinal column. That made it so it really only burned on my right side and not in my head. But once they started readjusting me to move over to the other bed to come back out, they kind of like unkinked my neck and my right arm went on fire. Like that was the most wailing probably that I did the whole time. So my arm was just freaking out, but I couldn't move because there was like a needle in my back and they're trying to clean me, and so it was just a lot. On the way in, the needle got lost. Not like lost, but it was going the wrong angle, it sounded like, but I was too anxious about it anyway, so I didn't want to ask and find out. Oh, don't laugh. And there was only one other thing I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, one thing that was super weird. When the needle goes into your actual dura, like into the thecal sac in it, they said it can make your legs and stuff tingle. And what's weird is I actually had a leg tingle earlier in the procedure before I had the dural puncture. But when the dural puncture happened, what actually ended up happening instead of leg tingling for me was that my lower back and TMI, but like my rectum, all curled under and kind of like, I don't know, it's weird. It's almost like instead of a poke sensation, it was like a twist sensation. And then they said, well, did you feel anything? And I said, only in my butt. They were like, what is this girl on? Anyway, they said, well, we'll check on the CT. And then they did the CT and the needle was in. I feel like even though I expected the feeling of the contrast, it definitely traumatized me for like 5 minutes there. I came back to my dad and I held out my hand and I had to hold his hand. I was like, oh my gosh, shed a few tears. Now I'm feeling a lot better. Throughout the procedure, I was using my birthing tactics. I was moaning, I was singing, I was doing my, not like agony moaning. I was able to keep it under control with hypnobirthing tactics. So doing my, and I hope that wasn't too distracting for him. So yeah, feeling good. I'm glad it's over with. I'm having some juice. And every time I move, I get super clammy and the headache's worse. I feel like the dye is where it is and it's just sitting there. And when I move, it disturbs it, and my everything hates this dye right now. So it's just this balance between, if I lay for too long, I get that burning, so I try to move the dye a little bit, but then it burns. So myelogram day 1 done. I think I'll be less nervous tomorrow. And shout out to my dad for recording me while I explain the procedure to him so that you guys can also see it. Thank you, Dad. Oh yeah, Dad did a little peace sign. He did a little, ew, now some juice. So that I can eat now. Myelogram is done.
Yes, that's
And I have vlogged it. I feel accomplished. Goodbye, beautiful breast milk. Pumping already sucks enough. Pumping and dumping is the literal worst. Alright, time for the other side.